7 Steps to Build Inner Strength with Stoic Philosophy to Stay Peaceful Amid Life's Turmoil. Stoic philosophy teaches that we cannot control external events, yet we always retain the power to master our own thoughts and reactions. By focusing only on what lies within your control, you can discover deep serenity even in the face of life's greatest challenges. Below are 7 practical steps to help you cultivate inner power and manage your emotions with lasting effectiveness. 1. Recognize the power of the mind. True happiness does not come from success, money, or anything external. It begins with the way we think. Every feeling, joy, sadness, worry, or calm, starts as a small current of thought. If the mind runs unchecked, it easily pulls us into cycles of anxiety and negativity. Yet when we realize that we can consciously choose our thoughts, an entirely different world opens up. Imagine your mind as a giant keyboard, each key representing a different emotion. If you accidentally press the keys of worry or anger, the music in your head becomes loud and chaotic. But the moment you change the tune, pressing the keys of gratitude, appreciation, or hope, the sound softens. This doesn't mean life suddenly becomes perfect, it means you learn to guide your mind toward peace, no matter the situation. Start with the simplest actions. Upon waking, instead of immediately thinking about unfinished tasks or work pressure, pause for a few seconds to acknowledge, I'm breathing. I have a new day to experience. Just a brief shift in thought can create a positive ripple for the entire day. The true power of the mind lies here, you choose the story you tell. When you focus on the present and on gratitude, you are no longer dependent on praise or outward achievement. Happiness is not something to hunt for, it is already within you, merely hidden by negative thoughts. When you stop feeding those thoughts and tend that garden of the mind, with positive ones, joy naturally arises, steadfast and deeper than any external success. 2. Directing your thoughts. Much of life's suffering does not arise from events themselves, but from how we interpret and respond to them. A single situation can feel disastrous to one person and merely challenging to another. The difference lies in thinking. When the mind adds labels such as terrible, unfair, or unbearable, discomfort instantly intensifies, making the pain far greater than the reality. To guide your thoughts, begin by practicing the pause. When something unexpected happens, a sharp critique, a traffic jam, a broken plan, stop for a few seconds. Take a slow, deep breath, relax your body, and ask yourself, is this worth losing my peace over? That single question creates space between you and your emotions, allowing you to see the event more clearly. Instead of reacting right away, observe as if you were an outsider. Picture yourself watching a movie, the images keep playing, but you are not swept into the plot. This mental distance lets your brain analyze the situation with reason, reducing the force of sudden emotion. Directing your thoughts does not mean suppressing or denying feelings. It means choosing a more constructive interpretation. A criticism can be taken as an insult, or as a chance to learn. A setback can be viewed as failure, or as valuable experience. When you realize you have the power to choose your perspective, you feel freer and less controlled by outside circumstances. From that point, inner peace no longer depends on what happens around you. It is sustained by your own deliberate choice of thought. 3. Mastering the imagination. Many of our deepest worries don't come from reality at all, but from scenarios our minds invent. The human brain evolved to protect survival, so it often magnifies risk, spinning worst-case stories to keep us alert. This reflex once helped our ancestors escape predators, but in modern life it easily turns into a constant source of anxiety. Notice how this plays out. While waiting for a medical report, you might imagine a cascade of illnesses that have never happened. Before a job interview, the mind may paint vivid pictures of rejection, lost chances, and a bleak future. None of these stories are real, yet your body reacts as if they are, heart racing, breath quickening, sleep disrupted. The first step in mastering imagination is recognition. When negative images appear, remind yourself, this is only a story, not a fact. That simple phrase works like a switch, cutting off the runaway thought and pulling you back to the present. Next, invite reason into the process. Ask, what evidence supports this scenario? How likely is it to happen? Logical questioning exposes how most fears are exaggerated. You can also practice mindful breathing. Focus on each inhale and exhale, feel the air move through your nose and the rise and fall of your chest. Anchored in the present, the mind has less room for hazy projections. Controlling imagination doesn't mean suppressing creativity, it means refusing to be led by negative scripts. When you clearly separate stories in the head from reality unfolding, inner peace becomes more stable, allowing you to live fully in each moment. 4. Relabeling emotions. Emotions are natural responses of the body and mind, yet the name we give them determines their strength and influence on our lives. When we call a feeling anxiety, we unconsciously amplify unease. When we label it fear, we may retreat. But by changing the label, the very same sensation can become a powerful source of motivation. Think of the moments when your heart pounds and your palms sweat before a presentation. If you define it as nervousness, tension and self-doubt rise. But if you call it energy or excitement, your body reacts in the same way while your mind treats it as a sign of readiness, helping you focus and perform better. Likewise, the feeling of fear before a new challenge can be reframed as an opportunity to grow. The experience itself is unchanged, yet a new label triggers more positive brain chemistry, encouraging you to step forward instead of shrinking back. To build this habit, begin with observation. When an emotion surfaces, avoid quick judgment. Ask yourself, what sensations do I feel in my body? Is there a more constructive name for this feeling? Take a deep breath and experiment. Turn nervous into anticipation, pressure into an exciting test. Relabeling doesn't deny emotion, it redefines it in a way that supports effective action. By mastering the language of your emotions, you also master your reactions, transforming stress into drive and turning difficult moments into opportunities for growth. 5. Understanding the mind's mechanism. Our mind works much like a garden. Left unattended, the weeds of worry, anger, and pessimism quickly spread. But with daily care, the flowers of calm and optimism will flourish. Grasping how the mind operates allows you to nurture thoughts that give strength while limiting the seeds of negativity. The brain possesses a remarkable ability to adapt, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. Each time you repeat a thought, the related neurons connect more strongly, like carving a trail through a forest. When negative thoughts recur, that gloomy path widens, making pessimism an easy route. Conversely, when you consistently plant positive ideas, the pathway toward peace becomes clearer, helping you shift emotions more swiftly. To tend this mental garden, practice a few simple habits. Gratitude journaling. Each evening, list 3 good things that happened during the day. Mindful breathing. Spend a few minutes focusing on your breath to relax the brain and restore energy. Positive self-talk. In difficult moments, repeat phrases such as, I am capable of overcoming this, or everything will be fine. These small, daily actions are your way of watering and weeding the inner landscape. Understanding this mechanism reveals that happiness isn't a miracle, it's the natural result of steady training. Every positive thought is a seed, and over time those seeds grow into a lasting, peaceful garden within your mind. 6. Separating yourself from your thoughts. Many people believe they are the sum of their thoughts, yet in reality the mind and the self are 2 distinct entities. Thoughts are fleeting currents, like clouds drifting across the sky. If you fully identify with them, negative emotions can easily take control, leaving you tense and unsettled. Learning to observe thoughts rather than merge with them brings a profound sense of freedom and lightness. The first step is simple recognition. When a thought arises, whether worry, anger, or judgment, quietly remind yourself, this is only a thought, not me. Picture it as a leaf floating down a river while you stand on the bank, watching it pass without jumping in. Next, name the feeling. Labeling, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm irritated, naturally creates distance. Neuroscience research shows that naming emotions lowers activity in the brain's emotional centers, which softens their intensity. Mindfulness practice is a powerful tool. Focus on your breathing, noticing each inhale and exhale, letting every thought appear and fade without judgment. You don't have to push them away, simply watch them drift like passing clouds. Over time, you'll see clearly, thoughts come and go, while the inner observer remains peaceful. Realizing you are not the stream of passing ideas frees you from their pull. This gentle separation becomes the key to maintaining clarity and calm, even in the most challenging situations. 7. Training every day. Inner peace is not a sudden gift, it is the result of steady practice. Just as muscles need exercise to stay strong, the mind requires disciplined habits to remain clear and balanced. A calm day doesn't appear by chance, it is built from a chain of small, repeated choices. Begin by treating journaling as a daily ritual. Each evening, spend a few minutes noting what you're grateful for, the thoughts that weighed on you, and any lessons learned. This simple act releases tension and strengthens self-awareness, helping you spot negative patterns so you can gently adjust them. Next, add mindful breathing. Even 5 to 10 minutes of focusing solely on your breath allows the brain to rest, lowers stress, and brings you back to the present moment. It's a straightforward yet powerful way to refresh the mind amid a busy schedule. Equally important is reflective thinking. When difficulties arise, pause before reacting and ask, "What can I learn from this?" or "How might I view this differently?" Regularly questioning your perspective develops mental flexibility and greater resilience. Finally, embrace small daily challenges, exercise, learn a new skill, or attempt something that feels slightly intimidating. These actions serve as workouts for your mental muscles, preparing you to stand firm when larger storms come. Over time, these habits create a strong foundation. Peace is no longer a rare moment but a natural state, one that travels with you through every circumstance. Key message: master your response, make the mind an ally. Negative emotions are a natural part of life. Anger, anxiety, fear, or disappointment are not enemies, they're signals that something important is happening. No one can eliminate these feelings entirely, just as no one can stop the rain. But you always have the power to decide how you'll respond to the storm. The crucial point is the freedom to choose. Whenever you face difficulty, there are two paths: let emotions take the lead and react impulsively, or pause, observe, and choose a response that preserves inner peace. The moment between stimulus and action is a space of freedom. In that pause you can take a deep breath and ask, "How do I want this story to unfold?" When you see the mind as an ally rather than an adversary, you begin to train it the way a coach strengthens muscles. Journaling to illuminate your thoughts, mindful breathing to return to the present, and relabeling emotions to turn fear into motivation, these practices help you grow steadier every day. Instead of fighting emotions, welcome and listen to them. Anger can highlight personal boundaries, fear can reveal what you truly value. By refusing to be swept away by impulsive reactions, you enlist the mind as a trusted companion in making wise decisions. Life will always bring storms, but peace does not depend on whether they pass. Peace arises when you know you can stand firm, watch the turbulence, and choose to respond with clarity, steadiness, and self-mastery.